hardly anybody knows about the importance of crop diversity. With this event, we want to change this. The crop trust takes care for that diversity because crop diversity is threatened all over the place. It is threatened in the fields, it is threatened in nature where all the crop wild relatives are, and they are threatened in gene banks in case they are not properly funded, and that is the case in many cases of the Global South.
Crop diversity will be an imperative as we are struggling to feed the ever-growing population of our planet Earth. We need to place a focus on providing enough food, but also to make our food production sustainable and our food healthy.
Seed innovation, agronomy, and the gene banks, which provided the basis for that, have made a difference. Improving the seed systems and protecting the seeds' diversity in order to reduce the risks of the investments of cutting hunger fast is critical.
In 2022, we don't really have a food shortage issue, but a distributional issue. Diversity in the gene pool with regard to plants, but also with regard to livestock and also with regard to fisheries is playing a crucial role in the resilience of food systems and also in the resilience of societies.
So we need to focus really on the conservation. We need to also look what is in the collections. The collections, it's not only that we see in farmers' fields the rice, maize and wheat and so forth, the main crops. We should establish real, it might be a virtual, but it needs to be a real global gene bank, yeah, as a decentralized system of many gene banks, but it needs to be that.
We have to see that about half of those people in the world who go hungry to bed are smallholders. So these are the producers. Why is it that we have producers of food who go hungry to bed?
When land races have been lost with the farmers actually came back to SIP potato gene bank also and asking, do you still have some of those ones in store? And they had, and then it has been sort of reintroduced again to the farming community. But of course, that's why the importance of that conservation measures is there.
The interesting part about it is that it's food diversity, crop diversity, regional varieties is something that immediately captures the public's attention. Because it's an unknown part of local identity, essentially. I think if you want to go towards sustainably feeding the world, then we need this broad genetic basis.
The idea of nature-based solutions is to use natural principles and use them to make us fit for future challenges, including the climate change, including future uncertainties.
The associated biodiversity, I think that hasn't been mentioned so far, and I think it cannot be isolated from crop diversity. So all the insects, all the functional diversity, the pollinators, the pest regulators, the beneficial insects, and all the other organisms that help to run agriculture.
If farmers have an incentive to create more diverse fields, they're going to look for the crops that allow them to create more diverse fields and still make sure they make a living out of this.
We talked about this diversity on the level of varieties, very obvious. Yeah? So we have wheat, rice, maize, legumes, tomatoes, fruits, everything. But we also touched on the diversity on genetic level. Yeah? And the threat really is on both levels. The loss of diversity and the need to conserve it and conservation first, that was, I think, very clearly, is a global challenge. That brings me finally now to the work of the Crop Trust. We not just provide funding to individual gene banks, but also very explicitly try our best, contribute to make this huge variety of gene banks become an integrated global system of gene banks. And that is really important.